Find your sit bones, tilt your pelvis forward, and stack your spine up with kindness, not straight like someone told you to, but aligning each vertebrae, one atop the other, all the way through your neck, through to the crown of your head. And take in a deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Giving yourself a moment to arrive, to transition well into this moment, to honor whatever came before this morning and whatever may be coming later on today or this weekend. Letting your mind and your body and your spirit all come together here for this moment. Drinking in the breath once again. And exhale whatever would like to float away. Today's practice is an offering of letting go whatever might like to float away. In particular, expectations of this time of year and who you are supposed to be. It doesn't even have to be the time of year, but who you think you're supposed to be, how you think things have supposed to have gone. And opening up to a hope and an inspiration and a moving forward. But in order to do that, we have to let go of all this heavy stuff that we also carry. And so as we move today, you can envision letting go of that stuff and allowing that light from within to shine a little brighter, a little more radiantly, feeling a little more hopeful, a little more inspired, a little more energized. As many of you know, I like to choose words for the year, and one of my words is going to be radiant. And I know that it's a practice. For me, it's a bit of a stretch word. And so to practice it on your mat and off your mat and start living a life that allows you to bring more of that into all the tiny moments. And so I offer that to all of you today as well, whatever that vision might bring for you. Playing with it and seeing if there's a part of it that you might like to borrow or embody. And so drinking in that bright light, the lightness, the hope, the energy and radiance in through the nose with the breath. And exhale, letting go of all the things that block you from that. Perhaps there are judgments or resentments. Breathing in another breath of that hope, inspiration, energy, and radiance. And letting go of any heaviness that weighs you down. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop. Sending yourself kindness for however this week has come to pass, however you have shown up or not. And the heaviness that you have brought to today, honoring that it was all well-intentioned and potentially needed, but that there may be some of it at the end of this year that you'd like to leave behind, or the end of this season of whatever you've been going through. What might you like to leave here on the mat or send off into the breath somewhere else? Breathing in the energy with which you could do that, the hope, the inspiration. And exhale, let it go. Breathing in kindness and love and compassion also, knowing that that's the path to releasing. And on the exhale, releasing. And to start us off with this quote, often what we think holding on makes us strong, but often letting go allows our most radiant and empowered self to emerge. When you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. If you want to fly in the sky, you need to leave the earth. If you want to move forward, you need to let go of the past that drags you down. And so today we'll let go of whatever drags each of us down in some small way, or loosen our grip. Breathing in some spaciousness and softening and loosening. And breathing out, letting things go to begin. Bring your hands together at heart center, rub the palms together, finger pads touch. Press your thumbs into your sternum and set your own intention for this morning, whatever that might be, something inspired by the words that I have shared. I love this idea that you have to leave the ground in order to fly. I had hoped for a long time I could do both. And so it's that moment where you have to leave that feels stressful and anxiety provoking. And can you just move forward from that? From old expectations of what should be or how life should look or how other people should look. And just enjoy where you are and how things are. And knowing that it won't all be joy. Letting go of resistance to that. Taking in one more inhale here. And an exhale, let it out. And if your eyes are closed, you can open them, lower your hands, palms open on your thighs for a moment. Just let the light in through your eyes, through your hands, perhaps wiggle your fingers. Letting yourself intentionally be open to whatever comes up, whatever you'd like to let go, whatever feels hard to let go. And letting go of any of that sludge and heaviness from this week or holiday time or time with family. Letting the light pour in and just move things around a little bit. Envisioning that light seeping into every nook and cranny of the heart space and the belly space, all the way down to your toes. Taking in one more inhale in through your nose. Sending it wherever you'd like to send it. And then exhale, let it out. And a pause to enjoy. Noticing any resistance to enjoying, and with intention, letting that resistance float away and enjoy a little smidge more. And when you're ready, take out whatever is underneath you. And we're going to start standing today. So come up to a stand and take a moment to arrive there. Lift up all 10 toes and stretch them wide, wide, wide. Lower them down. Grow those roots down into the earth. Draw up the earth's energy through your legs, through your knees, through your thighs. Tuck your pelvis and stack your spine. Align it all the way up through your neck, through to the crown of your head, as if you're a marionette being pulled tall, long, and gracefully. Taking in a drink of breath. And exhale, let your palms open and everything pour down through you gracefully. One more deep breath here as you stand tall and elegant, perhaps. And exhale, let it out. Inhale both arms out and up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms over, reach them tall, tall, tall towards the sky. Elbows will straight as much as possible. And shimmy your elbows behind your ears. Wiggle your side body. Take in a huge drink of hopeful, energized, radiant breath as you reach your palms towards the sky. Slight arch back. Exhale, round forward into a seated cat, moving carefully and kindly, doing what works for your body. Inhale, slight arch back. Once again, reach your palms towards the sky, moving slowly with grace and elegance. Exhale, round forward. Suck your navel back towards the back. Palms reach forward. Inhale, arch back once again. Pause here. Exhale, drop your shoulders, fingers still interlaced. Inhale, reach tall once again. Ground your left foot, left hip downward. Exhale, tilt towards the right. Lengthen the left side body, breathing into it. All the way down into the waist. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, tip to the opposite side. Enjoy the right side lengthening all the way down through your foot, all the way through the right hand. One more drink of breath into every nook and cranny, bathing every tiny alveoli and muscle fiber on the right side with breath. And exhale, release. Come back to center and pause for a moment, engaging your belly, making sure your back is safe and well taken care of. Release your hands. Inhale, reach those fingers tall, tall, tall. Exhale, twist gently to the right. Your right arm will come behind, left hand will reach forward. Lots of muscles engaged here. Wrists can be flexed if that feels good to you. Inhale, reach your arms up tall, twist back to center. Exhale, twist towards the left. Engage your belly, right hand forward, left hand towards the back. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, twist back to center. Once again, twist to the right. Right arm behind, left hand in front, palms flexed, noticing all the nerves and muscle fibers waking up here. Inhale, reach your arms tall towards the sky, twist back to center. With intention and care, twist to the left. Wrists flexed, fingers spread wide, 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 and enjoy it. Inhale the arms up towards the sky, turn back to center. Open your arms out wide towards the side walls. Flex your wrists, palms flat towards the side. Spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. Enjoy the energetic shifts. Wiggle your fingers. Let things go out through your fingers. Pinch the scapula together. Exhale, release. Wiggle those fingers a smidge more. Squeeze your fists tight. Exhale, release the hands, spread the fingers wide like you're flicking fingers, and anything you'd like to let go, away with the flick. Squeeze your fists tight. Exhale, flick your fingers, release. Once again, squeeze tight. Exhale, release. Wrap your arms around you in front. We're going to give ourselves a huge hug. Wiggle your fingers to the medial edge of the scapula. Notice which arm naturally came underneath so you can be cognizant for the next side. Lift your elbows up over your chest. If it happens to be in the way, it likely is, without judgment. Lower your elbows down. Huge gulp of in-breath. Rise up onto your tiptoes. Exhale, lower down. Another in-breath. Give yourself a huge squeeze, wiggling your fingers to the medial edge of the scapula. Exhale, drop your chin to chest, right into the cradle of your arms. Whole body is engaged, belly's engaged, legs engaged. Notice your toes. Release the upper back, neck. You likely have sensations going the whole way down the spine. Pausing to enjoy them, noticing the energetic shifts, even with these tiny moments. Give yourself a squeezy hug once more on this side. Bring your chin back to chest. Untangle your arms, press them into the side walls once again. Pinch your scapula together and release. Cross your arms in the opposite direction. Wiggle those fingers towards the medial edge of the scapula. You may notice that one side is much more accessible than the other. Lift up your elbows over your chest, lower them down. Lift up onto your tiptoes into a balance pose. Everything engaged, waking up as you lift up, lots of wiggles and wobbles without judgment. Lower your heels down. Drop your chin to chest, release the neck, release the back. Lots of subtle movements here. Huge breath in. Notice the ribs flare open with the breath, bathing everything with kindness and compassion for the journey you've been on thus far. Not just this year, but your whole life. Exhale, let it go, making room for that light and radiance to come in. Bring your chin back up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide towards the side walls and lower them down. Clasp your fingers behind you. Press your fists towards the floor, elbows straight, shoulders down and back. Your chest is going to puff out here. Lots of stretch in the neck muscles. Take an in-breath here, drinking the breath all the way down to your belly. Exhale, drop your chin to chest as you reach your fingers towards the floor and enjoy the release here and all the little nooks and crannies and pockets. Huge in-breath once again. Fingers continue to press towards the floor. Exhale, release. Bring your chin back to shoulder height. Gaze to the right, gently, kindly, smooth movements. Back to center. Gaze to the left, gently, slowly. Come back to center. Release your hands and shake it out. Lift up onto your tiptoes and notice the wiggles and the wobbles once again. Bring your hands to heart center, pausing here on your tiptoes. Thumbs reach, press into the sternum, palms together. Stay as high as you can here, noticing the wobbles, embracing them, having fun with them. Notice if you want to go up or down, lower down your heels. Lift up once again onto your tiptoes slowly. Draw your attention inward, focusing right on that heart space, the thumbs into the heart space, and lower your heels down. Leave your hands at heart center. Kickstand your right heel into the left shin or calf. We're going to come into tree pose. You can keep your foot at the kickstand if that works well for you. If you want to bring the sole of your foot to your calf, you can do that. And if it's fun, you can bring the sole of your foot into your inner thigh. Please don't place your foot over your knee. It can cause harm. And one of the things that we work to avoid is causing ourselves harm with our thoughts, our movements, our breath, anything. So notice what feels good here. Notice what feels the most stable and gift yourself that. Engage your right glute, draw your knee back, coming into a beautiful tree pose. If you wish, extend your winter branches towards the sky, wiggling your fingers, drop your shoulders with intention as your branches reach towards the sky. And notice where your centeredness is, where you feel stable and grounded or not. Refocus, draw your attention to your strengths here, what's working. And taking a moment to feel radiant and energized and hopeful and inspired. Perhaps stretch your little tiny tree branches, fingers wide, 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 letting the energy come in down through your armpits, into your belly, all the way down through your legs. Bring your hands back to heart center. Draw your knee in front, lower down, and roll out any tightness in the ankles you may feel at this moment. Shake it out, roll your shoulders, be kind. And we'll switch to the other side. Kickstand the left foot. Notice if you'd like to lift up all 5 toes on the right foot and ground them into the earth like roots. Bring the sole of your left foot to your calf. Bring your hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into your sternum to help with balance. Draw the left knee back, engage your glute, and pause here. Huge drink of breath right into those thumbs, right into the heart space, and notice how strong and stable you are. Notice what a beautiful tree you are. Not a perfect tree, because trees are not perfect, but beautiful. And allow yourself to stand radiantly here, energized, inspired, hopeful. Letting go of whatever's keeping you from that. No one here gets to decide whether those things are true except for you. Let them in and play with them on your mat here and see what you can keep. Reach those graceful, elegant, radiant branches towards the sky. Wiggle the fingers, let the sunshine come in, or in my case, the rain, which is very welcome in California. Let the rain or the sunshine come down your arms, into that heart space, into your belly, all the way down through the trunk, all the way down into the roots. Noticing things move through you without blocks. Wiggle those fingers once again, standing tall and radiant and energized and hopeful. Channeling those feelings. Noticing if they're hard or easy and just letting them in playfully. Bring your hands back to heart center. Pause for a moment here. Press the thumbs into the sternum once again, wishing yourself well. Draw your knee forward and lower your foot. Roll your ankles, your knees, roll everything out, wrists too. Roll your shoulders back. We'll come to the top of your mat if you're not at the top of your mat already. Feet will be hips width, directly under your hips. Lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Engage your belly. Open your arms out and up towards the sky, slight arch back, and we'll fold forward, forward, fold. Slowly, inhale for a half lift. Exhale, lower down. Once again, inhale for another half lift, enjoying the movement. And as you move, letting stuckness open up. Lower down. Place your palms on the floor, step back to plank and pause here. Plank is top of the push-up. Spread your fingers wide, taking beautiful care of your hands and your wrists, knowing that you can take beautiful care of you anytime. Press all 10 knuckles towards the floor, both palms flat to the floor, no cups. Arms engaged, elbows engaged, humor heads in the shoulder sockets. And your belly, keeping you safe, your back safe, all of you safe. Taking a moment here, perhaps a little bit of shaking, breathing still. Exhale, drop your heels to the right. Right arm will reach towards the sky. We'll come into side plank, which to me is somewhat of a radiant, energized position. Reach your right fingers towards the sky, perhaps wiggle them. If you wish, exhale the right arm over the right ear and lengthen the whole right side body, breathing into every nook and cranny. If this feels too much on a wrist or a hand or anything, you drop your left knee. Take good care of yourself here. Breathing into this side plank, enjoying whatever version works for you. Exhale, lower back to center. Take a moment to organize your wrists and your hips so everything is safe and feels good. Engage your core, your belly, particular navel. Send the breath there. Exhale, drop your heels to the right. Left hand reaches towards the sky. If you wish, drop it over the left ear, lengthen the whole left side body. Play with it and see what feels good. Use the breath here. Don't hold your breath. The breath is what lets things go, brings the play and the movement and the shifts. When we hold our breath, nothing good happens. And many of us, particularly women doctors, who I know many of you are, hold their breath all the time. Press up and back. We'll come back to plank if you haven't. Pause here and press up and back into downward dog. Release the pressure out of your wrists if it's bothering you. Spread your feet a little bit wider to take even more of the pressure out and walk the dog here. Notice the energetic shifts in the back of the legs as you walk the dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Allowing movement here. Let your hips shift a little bit if that would feel good. And if the movement doesn't feel good, just stay still. Notice what feels good. Reach your hips up and back towards the sky. Allow your head and neck to lower. Roll your neck out in whatever way feels good. Shaking your head, yes or no. Huge breath into the heart space here. As it's upside down, shifting perspective is one of the reasons we go upside down in yoga. Breathe into the heart space. Exhale, let it out. One more breath here. Exhale, let it out. Raise your left leg towards the sky, coming into three-legged dog. Gently bring your left foot between your hands. Cartwheel open right into warrior two. Arms will reach in either direction. Take a moment here to look at your feet. Your heels should be heel to heel alignment. Your left knee may need to wiggle a little bit farther forward so that when you sink in and bend, it doesn't extend beyond your ankle. So take a moment to get yourself set up well. When we do that, we take good care. Arms will reach in either direction at shoulder height. Gaze is over the left middle finger. Take a moment to tuck that left hip back and your right hip and right inner thigh will roll forward a tiny bit. Right glute will engage. Inhale, a drink of breath. right through the crown of your head, down through your throat, into your belly. Exhale, sink into that front knee, taking good care of the knee. Notice your arms, if they're even at shoulder height or dipping. A beautiful warrior two here. Warriors are very radiant poses, breathing into it. Exhale, let it out. Another huge breath in. Exhale, drop your right hand down the right thigh, gracefully reach the left arm over the left ear, coming into peaceful warrior, the front left rib cage fanning open. Once again, take a moment to embody this radiant idea for fun. It might feel foreign, just play with it. Hopeful, energized, shining, taking good care. Radiance has this inherent sense of goodness to it, kindness. Breathing in here into the whole left front rib cage, and perhaps the right inner thigh is letting you know it's working too. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Take a moment here, a pause. Bring your right hip back towards the back wall. Straight the front knee, tip your left hand all the way forward. We're going to come into Trikonasana. You can grab a block if you wish or no block. Slide your hand down towards your left ankle. Your right arm will reach with grace towards the sky. Inhale the breath down through the right hand into the heart space. Roll the right shoulder open, gaze up towards the right hand if that's available to your neck. If it's not, look at the floor or anywhere that feels good for your neck. Huge drink of breath into the heart space. Bathe the heart with hope and light and energy. On the out breath, let things go here. If it feels good, lower your right hand into the left hip crease, roll your right shoulder open, and gaze up a teeny bit farther as you roll your heart open towards the sky. One more big drink of breath here. Reach that right arm up towards the sky once again. Rise up to triangle. Rise up from triangle to arms even. Your left knee is straight. Turn both toes towards the side of the mat. Turn your right toe towards the back of your mat. Pigeon toe the back foot, and we will come into warrior two on this side. Bend your right knee. Ensure that your right knee is not beyond the right ankle and sink in. Taking a moment here to get organized. Heel to heel alignment, arms at shoulder height. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale, sink into that right knee, right hip. A strong, radiant warrior two here. Noticing here if there's something that's dimming that shine. Can you use the breath to loosen it, to wiggle it in some other direction? Can you drink in more of that hope and energizing inspiration and shift things? Stir up the pot a little bit. Huge in breath, and on the out breath, let things go. Huge in breath once again. Drop your left hand down the left thigh, reach your right arm over the right ear gracefully, fan open the front right rib cage, and breathe in and enjoy it. Stretch the left hand all the way down towards the back of the left knee if you can. Breathe into every nook and cranny. Bathe the front right rib cage with light, radiance, love, kindness. Envision all that positivity there, dislodging old stuff that might be stuck there, letting it go. Loosening, moving, shifting. There's no hurry, just dislodging it a bit. Send the breath there. Come back to warrior two. Straight your front knee. Hips, left hip will reach towards the left. Right arm reaches as far forward as it can and drop it down towards the right ankle, towards the floor. If you need a block, you can use that. Left arm reaches towards the sky. Roll your chest open with intention. Gaze up towards the left hand if that's accessible. Wiggle those left fingers as they reach towards the sky. Keeping things loose. And notice how you feel. If it would feel good, drop your left hand into the right hip crease. Roll open that left shoulder and gaze upward even a little bit more, enjoying it. Use the breath here. Creating space. Reach that left hand towards the sky once again. Slowly rise back upright. Bend the right knee. Come back into warrior two for a moment. Straight that right knee. Bring your hands to your waist. Turn your toes towards the front. Bring your heels together. Sink your hips down and low, coming into goddess pose. Sink your pelvis all the way down. Knees will bend to 90 degrees if you can get them there. Your hands will be on your pelvis. Draw your elbows back towards the back wall. Chest is open. Breathe in a drink of breath, right down all the way to your navel and to your groin. And an exhale, sink in and flushing out whatever here might dislodge. Notice it, enjoy it. Notice any shaking. Right heel rises up for a moment, lower it down. Left heel rises up for a moment and lower it down. Straight both knees, reach both arms up towards the sky, coming into a beautiful star pose. Wiggle your fingers and stand here for a moment, letting in this idea of feeling radiant and energized. Wiggling your fingers, notice any resistance to it. Send the breath wherever that might be. And exhale, let it go. Bring your hands back to your hips. Heel toe your feet together. Shake everything out, roll your wrists out. We're going to come into dancer pose for fun. If you need the wall, feel free to use a wall for a hand. And if you don't, that's also fine. Or maybe today you need or want a wall. Lift up all 10 toes on both feet and lower them down, growing the roots into the earth. Bend your right knee, raise it up to hip height. Knee is bent at 90 degrees. Right hand will slide over the right thigh, down the front of the right foot. Grab your right ankle and hug your heel in towards your buttock. Take a moment here to notice your hips. They should be even to the floor, parallel to the floor. And take a minute to enjoy that release in the front of the right thigh. We're not in a hurry to go anywhere from here. This may be your dancer pose. If it would feel good, raise your left hand towards the sky. Extend tall and long, lengthen the left side body here. Wiggle those left fingers towards the sky. And take a moment here to embody that radiance, energy, inspired feeling. If it would feel good, you can tip forward and come into a dancer, or this might be your dancer. Notice what feels good to you. Nothing's better or worse. Notice where your stability is and stay there today. It's going to be different on any given day. And when you're ready, come back to upright if you're tipped forward. Lower your right foot and shake it out. If you notice any cramping, be kind. Roll your ankles out. Notice the tightness. And instead of resisting it, just play with it, soften it. Notice that when you approach it that way, things shift and move. I've noticed that this week, a lot of people are very resistant to the way things are or the way other people are. And even the way they themselves are, and they all want it to be different. And so approaching it with this kindness and looseness often eases the journey. Lift up all 5 toes on your right foot and lower them down. Kickstand the left foot. Sorry, raise your left knees to hip height. Sometimes our brains are slower than our mouths. Slide your left hand along the front of the left thigh, down the front of the left shin, and bring your heel to your buttock. And notice if your balance is trickier on this side or less tricky, and just take a pause. Notice your hips. Enjoy the release in the front of the left thigh. This may be what you need on this side, or you may wish to raise your right hand towards the sky. Reaching radiantly reminds me of the Statue of Liberty. Enjoying that stretch here, the lengthening, the grace. Perhaps drinking in the breath through that right hand, all the way into the belly, all the way to the left heel. Exhale, if it would feel good, tip forward into a dancer on this side. Only if it feels good. And enjoy a few moments here. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, keeping it light and soft, letting go of resistance. Rise back upright. And when you're ready, lower your hand, lower your foot, and really roll things out today. Enjoying the rolling. We're going to do one more balance standing pose. Lifting up all 10 toes and lowering them down. Set yourself up well by rolling your shoulders back 3 times. Noticing any kinks and any tightness and any gripping. And rolling your shoulders forward 3 times. Always noticing the gripping and softening in, relaxing in is a beautiful strategy. Bend your right knee and step your right foot forward. We're going to come into a warrior 3 here just by rocking forward. Shift your weight into the front foot. Bring your hands to heart center as you rock. And you'll lift up your back foot, tip forward into a warrior 3. Your left foot will reach towards the back wall. This is much like a flying pose. You can bring your arms out to the sides if that would feel good, wiggle them. You can also bring them behind you. And as you're here in this flying pose, envision this idea of letting go, no longer being on the earth in order to fly. What do you need to let go of in your life to fly with more ease? Perhaps wiggle your back toes. Perhaps it's the resistance, the tightness, the gripping. Perhaps you need your thumbs at your sternum to keep you more balanced. Perhaps you need your arms to the side. Noticing what else in your life might fit in this category. And when you're ready, slowly tip back up and lower that foot. Roll your ankles out once again, taking kind care of anything that is gripping, knowing that's human design. And we'll switch to the other side. You'll bend the left knee, step it forward a foot or so, and just begin to rock. Hands at heart center, shifting your weight, letting it be fun. Yoga itself doesn't have to be serious. We'll shift our weight into the left foot, bend the left knee, raise your right leg towards the back wall. Leg is straight, heel is pressing in towards the back wall. You may tip all the way forward. You may tip part of the way forward. Just notice what works for you. Maybe different on this side. And play with your hands. Enjoy. And taking a moment here to think in life about what's keeping you from flying and balancing in this way. What's getting in the way? Oftentimes your body has the clue. It may be the gripping. It may be the judgment. Just noticing with lightness. And when you're ready, you can lower your back foot, roll it all out, roll your shoulders out. And pause in Tadasana or mountain pose. Lifting up all 10 toes and rooting them downward one by one, sending roots all the way down. The four corners of your feet connect to the floor. Palms open towards the front. Close your eyes if that's available to you, and just notice how you feel here. Perhaps quite different than when we began standing. Pausing to notice. A huge drink of breath in. And on the out breath, maybe choose to let go of one of those things that you identified that's weighing you down, keeping you stuck on the earth. And if you'd like, drink in another breath and let go or loosen that same thing or something else once again. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top, checking in with your heart space at this point. Noticing how you feel. Noticing perhaps the energy shifts. I have found over the last week with lots of family around that my energy shifts in different ways than it usually does. And this opportunity to come back to your mat and take a pause is really powerful energy shifting technique. And it's available to you all the time. And so noticing which positions, maybe it's just one pose that can shift your energy, or maybe it's just one thought that can shift your energy. So taking a moment to think about what that might be for you so that you can carry it forth with you. 3 deep breaths right here, hand to heart. Sending yourself kindness, compassion, energy, hope, inspiration, maybe even a little happy or content or satisfied. And notice for a moment if you can let a little bit more radiance in. What would it look like to stand here feeling radiant? Perhaps your hands over your heart because the light that's shining outward is so bright. Or maybe it's just beginning to kindle and you're protecting it from the breeze, whatever it might be. Noticing a bright light in the heart space here. Huge drink of breath into that heart space right under your hands. Exhale, let it out. And you can open your eyes and lower your hands. And we will transition to seated. Slowly. Notice any tightness as you arrive. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness. Find your ischial spines and your sit bones. Connect them into the earth. Tilt your pelvis forward. Engage your belly and align your spine all the way up towards the sky. Your knees will bend gently. Reach both arms up. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Palms face one another. Wiggle those fingers. Exhale, fold forward, round your back, head and neck lower. Lower your knees towards the floor if that would feel good. Coming into a forward fold and enjoy whatever pops up here. Breathe right into the heart space. Exhale, release, let go, fold forward a smidge more. Lots of tension is in the backs of the legs and in the back. Letting it shift around. Huge drink of breath into the heart space. Exhale, let it out. One more huge breath. Exhale, fold forward a smidge more if your back is interested. Slide your hands up your shins to your knees, to your thighs, sitting upright. Bend the right knee. Pick up the right foot and bring it to the outside of the left thigh, hugging it in towards you. Even out your sit bones. Wrap your left hand around the front of the right shin. Bring your right hand behind, coming into a twist. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Reach tall towards the sky. Exhale, twist gently to the right. Don't overdo it here, but enjoy. Drink the breath in as you inhale and sit tall and lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring it out towards the right. One more deep in breath. Exhale, let it go. Twist back to center. As you reach the middle, squeeze your knees towards you. Sit up nice and tall and enjoy that right hip. If it would feel good, pick up the right foot, bring it into the inner elbow of the left elbow, and you're going to come into rock the baby. You'll cradle your arm, rock a little bit forward, side to side. Enjoy that release. Notice if you want to rock or hold still. There isn't a right way to do this. Enjoy the release in the outer right hip here for a moment. One more deep breath, sending it anywhere that's needed. And visualize on the out breath, letting go. Lower the right foot towards the floor. Even your hips out here. Once again, move the flesh of the seat. Bring your knee back upright so it's facing towards the sky. Take your left hand, grab the outer edge of your right foot, straight your right leg long in front, and lengthen the right leg and enjoy the sensations here, likely in the IT band all the way down to your fingers on the outer right foot. If you wish, you can place your right hand about 18 inches behind you and gaze towards the rear, or you can stay facing forward. Notice what feels good to you. Straighten your right leg a little more if that is accessible, and enjoy it. Huge drink of breath in and exhale, letting out the tightness, the tension, the twanginess, letting it move. Noticing that the twanginess is not a problem. It's just energy shifting. One more breath here. Lower your right foot, to the floor. Bring the sole of your right foot into the left inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall once again. Your right knee is perpendicular 90 degrees. Your left leg is shooting directly towards the front. Flex the toes on your left foot towards your knee. Inhale both arms up towards the sky. Engage your belly. Exhale, twist gently to the left and fold forward. Reach for the outer edge of the left foot. Fan open the right ribs in a different way than we have all day. Breathing into those right ribs. Exhale, release, let it go. One more huge in-breath into every nook and cranny. Exhale, let it go. Slide up the left leg to seated. Extend the right leg alongside the left. Take a moment once again to move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Knees bent. Inhale both arms towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward, evening things out into an easy forward fold, and enjoy. 2 deep breaths here as things begin to slow. Slowly slide up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Bring your left knee in towards you. Pick up your left foot, bring it to the outer edge of the right thigh. Hug it in towards you. Right arm will wrap around the left knee. Left hand comes behind. Inhale, lengthen your spine, reach towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the left and enjoy. Again, don't overdo it. Moving with kindness and care, exquisite care of you. Exhale, twist a little more to the left. Inhale, lengthen the spine towards the sky with grace. And exhale, twist gently. Draw your attention to your heart here. Notice if it's shining a little more brightly. Twist back to center. Bring that beautiful left foot into the crook of the right elbow. Coming into rock the baby. Clasp your hands in front. Left elbow is around the left knee. And draw it in towards you, enjoying a rock or a stillness release, whatever feels good to you. Thinking some babies like to move and some babies like stillness. Two more breaths wherever the breath is needed here. And as you're here, sending your hips kindness. We often send a lot of mean judgments to our hips and our legs about all the things. With intention, bathing the kindness, compassion, care. When you're ready, lower the left foot to the inside of the right knee. Sit up tall once again. Find your ischial spines. Stack your spine. Hug your knee so it's centered. Right hand will come to the outer edge of the left foot. Stretch your left leg long and enjoy the left outer leg IT band. You wish to plant your left hand behind and twist to the left, you can. Just notice what feels best. Allowing what feels best to be and enjoy it. Noticing the twanginess and letting the energy shift. And also noticing your heart here, twisted on an angle, letting it be light-filled and radiant perhaps. Bending your knee, lowering your foot. Turning the left knee out 90 degrees, sole of the foot is on the inner right thigh. Find your sit bones once again here. Taking a moment, come to stillness. Left knee is 90 degrees, right leg is straight forward. Right ankle and toes heading towards the right knee. Engage your belly. Inhale both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the right. Fold forward towards the outer edge of that right foot and fan open the left ribs. Sending the breath, cleansing, cleaning house, clearing. Sending breath to any tight spots that call out here. Breathing into it. Making room for that radiant light to enter through the side ribs, places that are often totally closed and hidden. Envision it coming into the back of the heart here, bathing it with light and hope and energy. Kind of a refresh, a reset. One more breath here. Slide up that right leg, so seated. Stretch the left leg long in front. And we'll raise our arms and lower down to lie down, rolling down like pearls on a string. If it feels better for your back, you can keep your knees bent. Notice what works for you. Trying to stay out of tension in the hip flexors, where we hold a lot of tension. When you arrive, stretch your legs long and allow your toes to fall towards the outer edge of the mat. Flip your palms open and take a moment here to enjoy. Notice the sensations that you feel. Bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the floor, bring your heels towards your buttock, flips your hands over, press into your feet and lift up into a bridge pose. Undo the back body, shimmy your shoulders underneath, reach your hips high, high, high. You can clasp your hands underneath you or grab the outer edge of your mat, tug it towards your heels. Energetically, your knees will connect, and be kind to your knees. Wiggle your toes a little farther forward likely. Lift your hips up high, high, high on the inhale, as high as they'll go. Exhale, release, lift them higher. Shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Your heart will pop open here.
Your chest is fully open towards the sky, bathing in whatever light you are in. Enjoy that, spreading through the whole chest area. Exhale, lift your hips even higher, a smidge higher, engage the glutes, noticing everything wake up. Exhale, release. Untuck your shoulders. Release your hands and unroll your spine with grace and elegance, one vertebrae at a time, enjoying each unroll. When you arrive, take a moment just to arrive. Be messy. Embrace the mess. Draw your knees into your chest and give them a kind and loving hug. Roll on your back, give it a kind and loving massage. If it works for your body, bring your feet into your hands, come into a happy baby. Soles of the feet reach towards the sky. Press your knees towards the floor. Open your groin here. And once again, a kind and loving massage for the sacrum and the lower back. And as you're here, notice the soles of your feet. Send the light in through your feet, all the way in through your legs, through your groin, up through your belly, into that heart space. That radiant golden light, energized, inspired, hopeful. And it might be that you don't even know about what, and maybe it doesn't matter. It's just an energy or a tone that you're inviting in for this short bit to play with it and see what it feels like. You can always go back to the other when you're done. Rock a tiny bit more here in your happy baby. Notice the inner thighs release a bit more as you stay a little longer, and perhaps rock a little more. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press your heels into your groin, knees out wide. Enjoy that for a moment. Huge drink of breath all the way into the base of the groin. Exhale, release your hands, lower your feet towards the floor, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclining butterfly. Bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly. And check in. Notice how you feel. If you close your eyes here, you may notice that you feel a little bit like you're flying or levitating. Perhaps you've let go of some of that heaviness already. You can stay here for Shavasana if you would like, or bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your knees together gently and slowly. Extend your legs long in front and allow your toes to fall to the outer edge of the mat. Your palms can be open to the sky about 6 inches away from your waist, or hand to heart, hand to belly. Notice what feels best for you. And take a moment here to treat yourself with kindness. If your lower back is not happy, put a bolster or a blanket under your knees. If you need to bend your knees, do that. If something else is not happy or askew, take a moment to get truly comfortable here. Take in a huge drink of breath, sending the breath anywhere that's tight or needs a little final moment of attention. And an exhale, let it out. And as you relax in, eyes closed if that's comfortable for you, notice the light in the room, even through your closed eyes. Envisioning that light as the golden light pouring into you like honey, pouring down into that heart space, into your arms, down your belly, into your legs, and all the way into your toes, filling up with a golden, sparkly, radiant light, pouring in like a healing balm or a flashlight, shedding light in all the nooks and crannies, cleaning house, lightening your load. And allow yourself to soften in and relax fully. Letting the last hour integrate into every nook and cranny. Letting your body change and shift, and your mind and your spirit and your energy adjust, accommodate, and reset while you rest. If you wish to stay in Shavasana, please do. It's the beauty of Zoom yoga or YouTube yoga. If you wish to come out, slowly, gently deepen your breath. Slowly and gently wiggle fingers and toes. Perhaps wiggle your shoulders. If it would feel good, reach your arms long above you and your toes long in front, taking in a huge breath, stretching long in either direction. Exhale, release, let go slowly, smoothly. And roll over onto one side and pause for a moment. A moment to take stock. Notice how you feel now. Perhaps a little lighter, perhaps a little more inspired, perhaps a little more energized, or a little more radiant, or a little more hopeful, or a little lighter. Sealing in whatever of that you'd like to take with you back into your life today and for the weekend and perhaps the year ahead. Press into your hands and slowly come up to a comfortable seat where we began. Find your sit bones, connect them into the earth underneath you, feeling strong and stable. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward, engage your belly, align your spine all the way up through your neck, through the crown of your head. Taking in an inhale and an exhale, drop your shoulders with intention. Flip your palms open to the sky once again, noticing the light, letting the light in, letting it come right up through your arms into that heart space for a moment. Letting it dance around anywhere in your body that's more open and available now. Noticing once again how you feel. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to belly or to heart. Notice what feels good to you. And taking a moment here to consider. Often we think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes letting go allows our most radiant and empowered self to emerge. If you want to fly in the sky, you need to leave the earth. If you want to move forward, you need to let go of the past that drags you down. My invitation to you is to think about what you might like to let go of or loosen, and whether you might like to fly and what that might look like for you. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together, rub them, warm them up. Finger pads touch, creating heat and energy. Bring that heat and energy right to the heart space. Thumbs connect to the sternum.
sending it all that warmth and heat and love and energy and radiance right into your own heart space. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all have a radiant, inspired, energized, loving, warm, and full day ahead.